Hey, NL 110, this is Ensign Alex Wong with Captain Laney, and we're here to teach you the skill of using emotions. Sir, how do we develop our skill of using emotions?
When you're thinking about understanding your emotions, and I would argue that a fair amount of our emotions actually come from our insecurities. The metaphor that I like to use a lot of times is if you built a castle and at one part of your castle, the wall is 20 foot high and 10 feet thick. And at the other part of your castle, it's made out of wood and it's, 6 feet high. And you have to deploy your soldiers. You're not going to put your soldiers on the huge part of the wall. You're going to put your soldiers, by the wooden fence, because that's where the enemy's going to attack, right? That's where you feel vulnerable. Our emotions oftentimes are enacted in order to protect our vulnerabilities, right? And so we have these kind of soft spots in our defenses that our emotions are often enacted to protect. And so we spoke previously about attachment, right? And insecure attachment is fundamentally about our insecurities, our beliefs that the world is a dynamic, unpredictable, scary place, perhaps. Our beliefs that perhaps other people are not trustworthy. Our beliefs, and these are the ones that are really, really deep and probably have a lot of emotional triggers built around, but the belief that we might not be lovable. Right, that's one of the most difficult things for people to address, because we don't even want to acknowledge that we might have that belief, right? So if you're talking about understanding emotions, they can come from some really, really deep places, and I don't want to minimize how easy it is to understand one's emotions. You could have a lot of layers of stuff going on there, and it's going to take some time and some energy, perhaps, to figure out what exactly is going on there. And so the accommodation for the emotion at some point might be, the realization that I'm a person who fundamentally has value regardless of how much other people appreciate me. And so that's something that you might be able to address in the moment, but you're going to have to create habits of recognizing what's happening in your life and create habits about how you're going to respond to that. And those habits are going to have to be put in place in order to probably replace the habitual emotions that you're feeling around those things.
So this almost blends into our ability to use emotions and developing an awareness on how other people will feel about words that we say or acts that we perform.
Yeah, this kind of goes back to what you were saying about positive emotions, right? That if I can learn to understand what makes other people happy, right, then I can do those things on purpose. If I can understand what makes me happy, if I understand that I'm a grumpy person and I'm prone to have a short temper, if I haven't exercised, right, then that's something I can do. I can actually use my emotions. I can set the conditions for me to be in an optimal mental state and be able to engage my emotions. So the using of the emotions actually are, can often be a little bit more wide scale, as far as it's not just, I want to be mad, right? Usually we don't want to be mad anyway. Usually we want to have more emotional control, and a lot of that is actually taking care of our bodies. Our mind is in our body. And so whatever we do to our body, we do to our mind. So that's actually one of the ways that we can preemptively use our emotions.
And in all four of these skills of emotional intelligence, it's like we said in our last discussion, it's something that we can develop. We can learn to how to optimize these action scripts and behave and think the way we want to think.
Absolutely, yeah. That's the main thing we're trying to point out here, is give some hints about the specific things that you can do to develop skills that, if you practice these skills, you would ultimately have greater emotional intelligence.
Awesome, sir. Well, thank you for your time, and join us on our next episode.